2023 has the potential to be one of the biggest years, if not the biggest, in Xbox history. Before I go into that, why don't you do me a favor, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more videos like this one. Let's get started. So we're now just a little over 2 years into the Xbox Series X/S console lifecycle. And really, there hasn't been many big first party AAA games outside of Forza Horizon and Halo Infinite. And the Xbox has still been able to hang around. It's actually doing better than the Xbox One did during this time frame in its life cycle. And that's mainly basically because of Game Pass. Game Pass has carried the Xbox console in the first 2 years. They've had a bunch of third-party game releases like Outriders. That was a big deal. MLB The Show, 2 years in a row, MLB The Show has debuted on Game Pass day and date. Smaller AA titles like Power Wash Simulator. Just this, I believe it was this past November, December, they had the game High on Life, and I think that broke like a Game Pass launch week record or something like that. It was one of the top 3 games played in Game Pass. And that's pretty crazy for a game like that, really. I believe it was even one of the top played games overall for that month on Game Pass. Or not even on Game Pass, just on the console overall together. It was one of the top played games. And that's pretty amazing. So, I mean, Xbox has gotten here thus far basically on value. We haven't even really seen the true capabilities of Game Pass. Yeah, we had a little taste with Forza Horizon and Halo back to back. But really, the strength of Xbox and Game Pass going forward is going to be those big AAA first-party games released once they get into a cadence of releasing those every couple months and then sprinkling those titles that they've had, like the Outriders and MLB The Shows, sprinkling those in there. That's when you're going to see the full potential of Xbox and Game Pass. And now coming up in 2023, there's going to be quite a few big games coming out, especially from first party. And it's already starting in January with the big third party games. In January, we've got Monster Hunter Rise, one of the biggest games released on the Switch a little over a year and a half, 2 years ago. That game is launching, I believe, January 20th. Monster Hunter World was huge on Xbox, it was huge on PlayStation, and now Monster Hunter Rise is launching on PlayStation and Xbox, and it's coming to Game Pass day one. February, you got Atomic Heart is a Game Pass launch game. That looks pretty amazing. First-person shooter. And then we go through like the first-party games. Ghostwire Tokyo was a game that was originally PlayStation 4 timed exclusive. I believe it launched last March. More than likely, that game, Bethesda game, is going to be launching March into Game Pass. Another first half game, Minecraft Legends. That should be launching sometime first half. Age of Empires, I don't know if that's really a massive console game, but this is going to be one of the first times it comes to console. Forza should be launching first half. Forza looks amazing. That is a huge Xbox property, launching day one into Game Pass. Redfall looks stunning. Now we're starting to get more info that Redfall is more of like a Far Cry instead of a Left 4 Dead, which a lot of people originally thought. That's impressive. Now that makes me about 10 times more excited for it than if it was a Left 4 Dead clone. That's going to be huge. And then Starfield. All possibly in the first half, except for Starfield. I think Starfield may launch second half, but regardless, that's a huge lineup of games right there. That has potential. Xbox is going to be in the conversation throughout the whole year, which before then, back in, every other year, they basically sat out almost the whole first half of each year, and then they throw a game or two usually in the second half of the year. This time they're going all out throughout the whole year basically. And so what you're really going to see is you're going to see the Game Pass effect and what Game Pass is going to do for the conversation in the industry now, with all of these first party games and then the supplemental third party games in there. You're going to see you're going to be talking about value quite a bit now. And I think 2023 is where the dead period where Xbox didn't have any games should be over with, and now you should keep seeing consistently forever, really, hopefully, fingers crossed. No more slow periods really with them. It should just be non-stop. I mean, you might get a month or two off where they don't have games, but no more like 6 months off where there's no first party games. It should just be a steady stream of games from February, March throughout now. So that's where I think that they've got to really have a chance to just, and especially Sony doesn't seem to have that much this year. I know they've got PSVR, they've got Spider-Man at the end of the year, and then they've got like Final Fantasy and Forspoken. But other than Spider-Man, Final Fantasy is it's a big game, but it's maybe like a 10 million seller maybe. But other than that, they're gonna go a long periods of times without games, to where I think Xbox every month there's gonna be a big talking point. Oh, did you play this on Game Pass? Did you play that on Game Pass? They're always gonna be in the conversation, and I think this is the year where everything really turns around, and you're not gonna be able to escape them. So that's why I think Xbox to 2023, this is the year where they turn things around, and if you're going to look at a winner, I think that you can really point to Xbox and say, I think they might be the big winner of 2023. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button, and once again, please hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos like this. See you later.